So Spider-Man 2 came out about 3 months ago as of me recording this, and the next big game we have around the corner for superheroes is Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. And I believe the general consensus is that this game is going to suck. I don't really know a lot of people who are excited to get this game. Based off all the gameplay footage that I've seen, the comment section alone is enough to let you know that people are not feeling this game. And you know, if this is your style of game, like the looter shooter, Destiny-esque gameplay loop, then all the more power to you. I'm not gonna lie to you, I was a Marvel Avengers shill. Okay, I used to play that game religiously and shamelessly bought a lot of DLC costumes with my own money that I very much regret now that the game is shut down. But I want to have a bigger discussion on if superhero games are still what they used to be, and or are they still fun? So in recent times, a lot of the superhero games are kind of following the general game rhetoric where they want to prolong the game's life as long as possible. Like I said with Marvel's Avengers, trying to become a live service game instead of really doing justice to the characters and the world of the Marvel Universe as a whole was a great disservice to not only that game, but to the players as well. When Marvel's Avengers first came out, it came out around the time when MCU hype was at an all-time high. We just got in-game, and we were waiting for the next big Marvel thing. And well, we all know how that turned out. But never mind about the movies. When Marvel's Avengers came out, me and my friends, you know, loving the MCU as much as we do, of course, we bought it, you know, with the promise and hope that the game would end up becoming one of those kind of video games that I made a video on also as well about the investing in video games. Becoming one of those video games that has like a redemption arc, kind of like Battlefront 2, where it starts off kind of rough, but through updates and community support, the game becomes probably one of the best games in that genre for itself. And sadly, throughout the 3 years that the game was out, it dropped remarkably slow updates. And there were glitches and bugs, despite the fact the game had I believe it was like a 1,000 or like 10,000 bug fixes with the day one patch alone. The game came out very shallow, and it was basically just I call them gear up games. Basically, you play the whole game, and the loop is to get better gear than what you currently have on. I don't really think that's the same thing as a looter shooter. Actually, I think it is a looter shooter technically. A looter shooter superhero game basically is what Marvel's Avengers was. Me and the guys, we held out hope. They were dropping somewhat decent updates like the War for Wakanda or the Hawkeye DLC. And after War for Wakanda, once we got Spider-Man, if you were on PlayStation, the game greatly dropped with terms of community support. We got Jane Foster Thor. It's kind of like a brand synergy tie-in thing with Thor Love and Thunder coming out. And then the last hero we ever got was Bucky, Winter Soldier, I think like in the end of 2022. But after that, they announced that the game was going to be shut down, and any hope we had for a bigger plot line or future Avengers joining the game, I think we had they kept teasing Captain Marvel, for example, or She-Hulk or War Machine, just all these concepts just thrown to the wayside because the way they made the game and the loop of it just didn't fit that brand. Like Marvel's Avengers, that just doesn't scream live service to a lot of comic book fans. And granted, when you sit in a corporate office and you really think about it, okay, how can we make this game live up to like a Fortnite or like a Call of Duty Warzone where people keep constantly coming back? And of course, you're gonna need that brand synergy, which is why they probably dropped Jane Foster or Black Panther. Like if Black Panther 2 was coming out, they would have dropped another like Black Panther DLC. They're thinking like that, and that doesn't really allow the developers to have the best work put forward. And again, we have another game that's probably going to fall to the same way that Marvel's Avengers did with Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Now, the last Arkham game was way back in 2015. It's been damn near 10 years. It was kind of getting ridiculous how much that fan base is waiting for at least something. Maybe like a remake of Arkham Asylum or a remake of Arkham City. They were just waiting for anything, like a new next gen update for Arkham Knight. Would have done wonders for that community. But instead, we got Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. And upon the announcement of it, I believe the hype was there. But then the second they showed gameplay, everything fell through. Not even just the gameplay, but I believe before they actually revealed gameplay, I think there were a couple leaks about like battle passes and skins and stuff like that. For me and my friends, being the Marvel's Avengers shills that we were, that did not bode well for the future of that game, because we saw what happened with Marvel's Avengers and how bad it really got. And to hear that history was essentially repeating itself was very disheartening. Now, as time has gone on, we've seen a little bit more gameplay. We've seen they just dropped a season 1 trailer. They revealed the Joker, and of course, it's still getting a lot of flack. I'm not gonna lie to you. It does not look good for Rocksteady that a lot of people are not really feeling this game. And I do feel bad for them, because I feel like if they had the opportunity to choose, because there is a rumor that Rocksteady wanted to do a Superman / Justice League game, but apparently the powers that be, aka Warner Brothers, told them not to. I really hope that this just isn't the end of Rocksteady. The Arkham franchise alone, I think, shows the powers that be that Rocksteady knows what they're doing when they have enough time. And granted, Arkham Origins isn't developed by Rocksteady, but that's neither here nor there. So I believe they're due for at least one miss. I don't think that this will be the end-all be-all for Rocksteady. But we still have other superhero games in the works, like the Captain America and Black Panther game, the single-player Iron Man game I think EA is developing. And I also think there's a single-player Black Panther game as well, I think, in the works. But I surely do hope that those games are focusing more on narrative and fun factor than just trying to constantly release with back-to-back updates to keep bringing people back to playing the game. I'm sure you guys have seen, there's all over YouTube, there's still people playing fucking Arkham Knight. The game came out almost 10 years ago. People are still playing Arkham City. There are constant new clips of people playing, hell, even Spider-Man 2, and not the new one, the old one from 20 years ago. There are people still playing that. So when the developer really locks in and understands the world and how to make the game fun, people are always going to come back to it. You know what I mean? And that's really, at the end of the day, that's all gamers really want. They just want a game they can hop on and play without constantly being hounded about during daily objectives, or, oh, if you want good gear to make your superhero stronger, then you got to do this quest and this raid and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. I just don't think I don't think superheroes really belong in the live service, what would you call that? In the live service genre of video games. I don't think that's going to do the best kind of work, or justice, I should say, for everyone involved. And we've had games like recently, like with Marvel Spider-Man 2. Even single-player superhero games aren't safe either, it appears, because that game dropped with a lot of bugs. It was actually kind of ridiculous how many bugs I personally experienced in Marvel Spider-Man 2. Not only that, but missing features. I'm sure you guys know that there's no new game plus, no day or night cycle that you can change manually. There's no you can't even replay missions. With the release of Miles Morales, it seemed like Insomniac heard everyone's criticisms from Marvel Spider-Man 2018, and they fixed them in Miles Morales. They gave you replayable missions. You could even replay the side missions in Miles Morales. You could change the day and night. You didn't even have to go to like one of those stupid stations. You could just change it from the settings. New Game Plus was already in the game. You know what I mean? Like, it seemed like Insomniac heard us, but due to probably corporate rushing and crunch, some elements of the game just weren't able to make it in there. And I wonder if it's really just corporate push trying to just get this game out because of the IP that it is, with it being Spider-Man. And of course, Spider-Man is going to sell no matter what. So I don't really think that rushing Insomniac to push this game out is going to delay sales at all. I think Spider-Man is probably one of the only superheroes that can drop any time of the year, and it's probably going to sell. I don't know if the publishers of these games that are making these developers rush and not really devote their full time into these superhero games is the best thing right now. We still have like the Wolverine game coming out. We still got the Iron Man, Black Panther, Captain America, the single player Black Panther game. We still got all these games coming out. I think the Wonder Woman game is still coming out on DC side. Another problem is that we just hear announcements for these games and we have absolutely no news whatsoever. That's also a bad thing too. I think that's just gaming in general, just telling you guys, oh, hey, by the way, we're working on this, although we have nothing to show for. I think that's also a disservice as well, because some of these games are going to get forgotten. But yeah, I just don't know if superhero games are in the best space right now. Hopefully with these next couple drops, that'll make my I guess worriness go away or filter out. With that Insomniac click that we saw they had a lot of big projects, Marvel related, in the works. Hopefully they can have enough time to work on those. But some superhero games that have come out recently are also, they just don't get enough credit. Like Guardians of the Galaxy 2021, that was probably one of the best superhero games in recent memory. Some games get console locked, like Ultimate Alliance 3. I have a Switch. Did I finish it? No, because I don't really use my Switch like that. It's and I'm sure a lot of people are upset that Spider-Man's only on PlayStation, but I mean, if you have a PC, you know, those games will come out eventually. But yeah, just to wrap this video up, let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think the superhero games are the best they've ever been, or do you guys think that, no, I'm right, that game development towards superhero games needs to be taken at a different approach, that they need to slow down a little bit and really try and edge away from that live service model that everyone seems to be doing, and really focus on the best gameplay loop for that specific hero?